All right. What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream from the Millennial Motivation Entrepreneur YouTube channel. First, before we get going, if you're new to the channel looking to join an awesome network of like-minded people, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below and checking out our Discord group chat. That's down in the description box. It's totally free. Nothing associated with this channel is charged. Like, you don't have to pay for anything here. We're just a bunch of people that are looking to make money in the market. At the end of the day, we talk about options, futures, even penny stocks, any way to make money in the market we're all about here. So we'd love to have you here, but with that being said, we will go ahead and just hop right in. Tuning in a little bit late. We only got about around 20 minutes until market close, at least regular trading hours. Overall on the day, just a quick little update. We have made roughly $85 on the day. We were up $90, but Tesla keeps fluctuating right around 275 to 280, kind of back and forth, 276 to 280 back and forth. Still holding that. As you can tell, my CRM positions are gone. We sold those this morning near the high of the day at 59.26. I do not recall what that'll mean the exact profit is for us. Let's see here. So we sold Salesforce buy. We bought it at 53.59. How's it going there, Josh? So we made roughly $6 per share, just under $6, like $5.80 or something. So if we want to pull the calculator up and see the exact price, we made roughly, let's just say $5.75 to lowball it, divided by 153.69. We made roughly 3 to 4% profit on that trade, 3.7 to 4%, somewhere in that range. Like I said, it wasn't quite $6 a profit per position, but just enough to make a little bit of money, and it pretty much has equaled out the Tesla losses. Because obviously we got in Tesla prematurely earlier this week at 286.05 in an after hours trade we made. We're down currently around $17, $18 or around 3% on that position still. Tesla's still hovering right around 277. Reason why I'm holding this and why I didn't go ahead and just sell it today, we have Tesla pulled up here. You can see I had multiple chances to close it around 280 or higher. Would have pretty much broke even on my trades, like within Salesforce, CRM, and Tesla if I had sold, because it literally would have been about a $12 loss had I sold at 280. But overall, I'm kind of liking how Tesla's setting up now. We obviously had this bottom of 270, bounced off it beautifully. If you had gotten in around 270 to 274, this is a very good trade. My trade, not so much. In all honesty, I'm probably looking at breaking even, or if we test 284 again and it looks like we get rejected, which is a possibility, then I would go ahead and definitely cut the losses at that point. It would only be like a $4 loss. I'm only holding 2 shares of Tesla currently. So, I mean, a $4 loss, whatever, would be my first red trade. I don't know since when, a while though. But first one of March for sure, if I decide to end up cutting a loss on this position. Point being is just I want to get my capital back, be able to put that money to work. We're talking a few dollars, when obviously with my SPY contracts I will talk about here in a second, I can make many more dollars than worrying about a little $4 to $10 loss that I could just go ahead and chop up and move on, because this is taking quite a bit of my capital. I mean, it's about $550, $560. So I mean, on this, it's about not quite a quarter of my account, but a little less. So I mean, it's still taking up quite a bit of my account right now. But yeah, closing in on 2,000. Yeah, we might even be at 2,000 before. We'll probably be over $2,000 by the time I deposit my next little chunk of money. I'm probably going to invest roughly $500, maybe a little more, between $500 and $1,000 next Friday or Monday, depending on when I decide to. Because I have my big check of the month coming in that day. But overall, today we traded, you can't see it on the notifications. Let's go into my history. So you can see, again, we did a very short-term trade, which I keep on preaching on these. This trade was actually down for a brief minute this morning. we'll pull up SPY's chart so you can kind of see where we played it exactly. Pull up the 1 day, 1 minute. We played it very early on this morning. Had a beautiful little double bottom on the SPY 1 minute chart, and we took advantage. Actually got in a little bit prematurely. We hung out around here. Once I saw this formation, once I saw like this little bit of resistance up around 278.55, I was like, I bet you this thing's probably going to slide a little and it'll form a short-term double bottom. Lucky for me it did, and I didn't hesitate to sell. I sold slightly early. I probably could have squeezed out another few percent of profit, but I sold whenever SPY was around 278.63, and I got in when it was around like 278.20 something, like 278.31. We can look at the exact minute by minute because you can see here we bought these contracts, 16 contracts at 69 cents a piece. We bought those at 9:51 a.m. Eastern time, which is 8:51 where I'm at. And you can see I bought it right here, right around here, right around 8:51. Like I said, we got it when SPY was around 278.31. We wrote it up. I was actually up $100 very briefly on this position when we had this big little candle here. But it was just so quick, I couldn't cover it in time. And I was like, okay, we'll probably hit it again. Since we hit that resistance, we didn't. It went down. Why? Because of theta. Theta was working against me. Then we slid down, and you can see right exactly where I was slightly down on this position, because obviously when it goes back down, theta and everything's working against you horribly whenever you're doing these short-term options. That's why I say I like to get out of these trades usually in 10 minutes or less. But since I knew what I was doing, read the chart good and whatnot, like I said, wait until what? Massively oversold conditions. You know there's going to be some sort of a bounce. And just everything was pointing towards this thing's probably going to keep going up. Nice little double bottom formed, wrote it up, and we sold it at what exact time? We sold it at 10:08, so it was a 17-minute trade. Pretty long trade, actually. So 9:08 where I live. So we sold it literally right in this candle. So almost at the top, but not quite. That is, again, why I say do not hesitate to cover those profits. I almost covered it about a minute or two earlier, but it kept kind of bouncing around. I mean, early on, you have a lot of movement in the market. That's why I generally do not like to trade this early on. You guys know I talk about that a lot. I do not like to trade in that first 30 minutes or so usually, but I had the time because I had a meeting at work and it ended early, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and try to get my trade out of the way. It shaped up perfectly for me, so I went ahead and hopped in. We made, what was it total on that position? $5 per contract times 16. We made $80 on that specific position. So $80 return on a 1104 investment. It was a 7.2% return. So that's pretty much what the third time in a row, second or third, where I've had literally 6-7%, between 7 to 13% profit doing these trades. I think you can literally catch a quick little 7% profit multiple times a day doing these trades, because like I said, I mean, when we look at the big picture, you can see, I mean, you can't even see where I did my trade. Now imagine if you caught one of these and you, like one of these bigger ones, like say you caught this one right here. You caught this dip. I don't really like that one because it took a little longer to play out. But I mean, say you caught that one, you wrote it up from somewhere. Let's say you got in at 277.80. You got out at 278.30 or 278.25. Let's say you went ahead and covered early. That was about what, a 45-cent move within SPY. That's going to result in a good chunk of profit for sure. And if you held it even longer, obviously you'd make more money. But again, when you're doing these very, very short-term next day expiration options, you want to get in and out of those trades definitely within 15-30 minutes at the max. Like I said, I personally, if possible, I like to get out within as little as 1 to 2 minutes, at the most 15-30. This one today, I believe, what was it, a 17-minute trade? Yeah, it was a 17-minute trade. So that was the longest one I've had in a while when it comes to trading SPY options. But just goes to show, I mean, if you just do your homework, wait for the buy signals, I mean, the market will literally tell you when it's a decent time to at least short-term buy. I mean, over and over you can see oversold, bam, ran up a little bit. Oversold here, ran up a little bit. Even though it's still downward trending and you know it's going to end up selling again at some point, you can at least play that short-term oversold condition. Massively oversold, boom, rode it up a little, and then make some good money. So, I mean, who wouldn't take 7 to 10% profit on a minute-by-minute basis? I mean, to me, it's just a pretty amazing trading strategy for sure. And I kind of just, I never found anyone on YouTube or on the internet that really trades like this. If you guys know anybody, let me know, because I want to see what else they trade. But I kind of just stumbled upon this, just kind of looking, because I'm always looking at just markets and option prices. And I mean, I was just sitting here looking at SPY option prices for, let's go to Trade Spy options. I was just looking out on the next expiration date, which in this case is March 8th. So, I mean, you can literally trade like every 2-day segments, which is what we tend to do. So, let's just look at how worthless the option is that I bought today. Which one was it? It was the 270, wasn't it the 279.50, I believe? Or 279, let's see where it was at that time. Maybe it was the 279. It was either the 279 or 278.50. I believe it was the 279. So, see, if you'd held this all day, I bought it at 69, you would have lost $16 per position. 16 times 16 is what? Let's see here. Oops, not minus. 16 by, wow, clear. 16 times 16. You would have lost $256 just because you wanted to hold out and not cover your profits. So, and that's if I did the 279. Something's telling me I did the 279.50. But what I do is I just essentially came through and watched how these prices move, and they move up so quickly on short-term bounces. Like I mentioned, I keep mentioning this. This is not a huge move. I mean, we got in, like I said, right around 278.32. We got out within a 20 to 30 cent move to the upside. It did not take a huge move to the upside whatsoever. Let's look at that from if you actually invested in SPY standpoint. That was roughly a 0.1 to 0.12% move to the upside. Not a big move whatsoever. Like I said, you do not need a big move at all to make some very quick, good returns on your investments doing this technique. Like I said, it is very risky. You need to make sure you're going to have good signal. Prefer to do it where like you're not in a work environment, because I mean it is super stressful. I was lucky I didn't have to like rush around. I had a good half hour or so to kind of just waste, so to speak, this morning since we got out of the meeting early. But I mean, just be ready to get in and get out as soon as possible. This trade, it did end up going in my favor, but it could have easily went against me. I was prepared to go ahead and cut, actually, if it had broke 67 cents or $67. I was prepared to cut. It was going to be, I think, a $32 loss. But you can see I didn't actually go down to that. I only came down to minus 13 on the day, which on that trade was minus $16. It only came down where I was down 16, and then literally you can see, I mean, within seconds it bounced right back up to where I sold. So overall for the day, up 4.5%, a little over 4.5% on the total account for the last week. That puts us up $226. I don't know why it's showing that. I don't know when that was. That's a glitch. I was never up this much, guys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was never up this much. So that's just a glitch on Robinhood's end. But overall for the last week, we're up a little over $200 or 13%. Last month, we are now up about 24% or around $372. So not too bad of a last month of trading. We're officially through our first whole month since trading on Robinhood. So now we'd have to go out to the 3-month chart. So you can see pretty much since we started doing this thing, we are up $367 or up around 23%. So not too bad since starting. When was our first trade? Our first trade was January 30th. So not bad for about 5 weeks of trading, if you ask me. I don't know what that is from a weekly standpoint. The first couple weeks started out slow. Like I said, we first started out with a $500 account for a couple weeks. Then we threw in like another $1,000 the last week and a half of February, and we're going to invest a pretty decent chunk here in the upcoming at the end of next week. So I mean, let's just say, again, just based on me having a $1,600 account this whole time, we'll just say I did 23% over roughly, what was it, 5 weeks? Let's just say it was 6 weeks. So we've done an average of 4% roughly per week, just based on the fact, if you're basing it off of me trading with a $1,600 account from day one, which again, we did not. So it'll be interesting. We had, like I said, we started off really slow, really negative actually at first. And then we held, and then boom. This was when we were trading oil. I had swung trade Gush for a while, and it finally came back up. And then from there, you can literally see when I started doing options again with SPY, 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 SPY. And you can see now I'm not going to be able to do that trade again due to our awesome PDT rules. We're not going to be able to do that trade until Friday. We have our 3-day trades, and Friday one will be freeing up. So unless if I see an amazing buying opportunity, which I don't really see any as of now, we probably won't be doing any trades after hours again, unless if there's some earnings that I didn't know was happening and I think there's a good dip buy opportunity like we did with Salesforce, like we did with SQ. Unless if something like that happens, we're probably not going to be buying anything. We're just going to be seeing what Tesla does, which it looks like it just went red on the day actually. We got about 2 minutes to go on the day. Yeah, Tesla just pretty much went negative. I don't know what the market's doing overall. SPY is down about 0.6%. Oil is still down about 0.5% overall, but it's still, I mean, it's still pretty bullish in my opinion. Inventory, I think, went up from what I heard this morning. So the fact that it didn't even move too much to the downside, we touched 55.42. Again, if I remember right, that's making a higher low still on our 20-day, maybe. Either way, a lot of support right around 55.50 in general recently. So still pretty bullish on oil. It's just taking a little bit to kind of get a steam going, but we know going into later half of March into April, it's probably going to eventually leg up over $60 for sure, because OPEC, I mean, let's just be real there. So like I said, I'm pretty glad actually now that I sold that CRM when I did, because I would have been pretty mad at myself right about now. And then like I said, Tesla, I mean, we're just kind of watching it, seeing what happens. I mean, if I have to hold it into next week, that's what I'll have to do. But I mean, I'm not going to sell it for anything less than 280. I mean, it's just not worth it. It's not taking up too much of my account where it's like the end of the world. I mean, we still have how much buying power? We still have $1,400 worth of buying power. And like I said, we're probably going to throw somewhere between $500 to $1,000 in next week. So, I mean, it's not going to be a huge weight on my account by any means. But what else were we going to look at? So, I mean, let's pull up. Well, it's almost too late now. Market's about to close. But this last minute, we looked at that yesterday. You can play the last minute. Last couple minutes, like right now, I'd be going ahead and placing a quick call. Actually, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. It's not even worth it. RSI is not showing oversold or nothing. I don't like I said, my number one rule is I play the MACD and the RSI. Because once the RSI hits oversold, it doesn't usually take very long for our MACD to show, okay, selling's probably getting ready to wear off soon. If you would have got in right here, right as it started to turn up, and then ride it up somewhere around here, you wouldn't have probably made a huge killing. Let's say that's 277.10. Yeah, you wouldn't have probably made a huge profit there, but I mean, you would have made a little bit. It almost kind of looks similar to my trade from earlier today, other than that trade didn't end up going further down. So market, SPY ended down about 0.6%. Not too bad. I actually like it. I think that makes it a little bullish for tomorrow personally, but we'll see. But yeah, if you had played that somewhere around this range and then held it for a little bit, now this is where you would have made your money. Because again, you would have got in around 277.10. I would have went ahead and sold it off right around probably 277.40. That 30-cent move to the upside's probably made someone at least a 10% return on some short-term SPY calls. Some people prefer holding it as long as they can. I don't, especially when I start to see my MACD kind of shows that buying might be potentially fading. That's when I definitely go ahead and pull the trigger. I usually pull the trigger too early, but today, today it played out perfectly for me. See what I mean? I saw that our MACD was getting pretty extended. Because obviously when the bars get bigger, that means buying is quote unquote like increasing to a certain degree. And then once it gets around here, that's when it's like, okay, it's starting to potentially get ready to have a little bit of selling start coming in. And as you can see, it continued to sell, and then the MACD went red. So I always try to get out whenever the RSI is above 40. Once the RSI gets above 40, it can really go either way. So that is why pretty much RSI at 40, and then your MACD starting to show signs that buying is full-fledged in effect. And I was looking at our SMA. I was like, it's probably not going to get above it today. Once it got below it, I was like, we're probably not going to get above it. I'm just going to go ahead and sell early before it ends up backfiring against me. No one ever gets hurt for taking profits too early at the end of the day. Profits are profits. Cannot preach that enough. So you can see we did try to get above the SMA. Bam, we got rejected again, and we're hovering right around it right now. This is the 1 minute chart though. What I'm interested in is kind of what we're looking at, our 180-day. So we got a little ways to pull back still. I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we go either way. If we go green or if we go red, because over the last week we've had what I think this is going to be our third red day in a row. I think. Let's look at our 5-day chart. So we were up. So today was our third red day in a row. So tomorrow will be the fourth red day in a row if we have a red day, which I wouldn't be surprised, but it's not really super common to have 4 red days in a row, even though yesterday was kind of a nunch day in all honesty, but it was still a red day. I wouldn't be surprised either way, honestly, because looking at our 180-day chart, we definitely got a little bit room to pull back. Like I said, I think we're going to pull back into the lower 270s, 273 to 275 ultimately. So I wouldn't be surprised if like tomorrow we have some sort of a very short-lived green day, like something where SPY is up like 0.25% or something like that. But I don't have much faith that we're going to see like a big rebound day or anything tomorrow. I'd be more willing to bet that we have like a 1% move to the downside than a 1% move to the upside. I would definitely say that. And you can see, the market's kind of running out of steam here short term. We're looking like we're getting ready to roll over just a little bit. Like I said, I'm not thinking there's going to be some big correction where we retest the 260s, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised if we retest right around 270, maybe even 272 to 273 over the next couple days. We got Thursday and Friday left. So I would like personally to see the market retest 273 before the end of the week. That probably wouldn't be good for my Tesla trade, but it would give it more room to go higher at the end of the day. Tesla, even though it was down today, something's telling me it's kind of building a support right around 276. So we'll see what happens with Tesla specifically overnight as well as the overall market. But yeah, as for tomorrow, as for like overnight and into tomorrow, I'm probably, like I said, not going to be doing much in terms of actual trading. I don't know if anyone, we got 6 of you tuning in. For those of you that are just tuning in, like I said, overall in the day, we ended up right around $85. Around 4.5% up on the total account on the day. What we did today was we sold our CRM Salesforce shares for around a $5 to $6 profit per share. not a huge trade or anything, but profit's profit at the end of the day. And then we also, like I mentioned earlier, did our SPY short-term trade. This was a 17-minute trade. We made $80 in 17 minutes. No commissions, of course. So in and out in a few minutes and taking the money and running. So other than that, we're just holding Tesla. Probably going to be holding that one. My gut's telling me at least till Friday. So we'll kind of see what happens with that one. And then as of Friday, we'll have another day trade open up. So then we'll look at maybe trading SPY again one more time on Friday. Let's see, I'll have how much to trade with, around 1,400. So I'll probably take about a size position that I did today, right around $1,000 to $1,100. So hopefully we can make another maybe $50 to $100 on Friday. That'd be awesome. That would push us over 2,000 for sure. And who knows, maybe if Tesla can get its act together, that might catapult us over 2,000 too. So, and then next week, we will be investing quite a bit more into the account, so that'll be exciting to see the account just continue to grow. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. If you can just consistently grow your account, limit your losses, maximize the gains to a certain degree. Like I said, never ever be afraid to take the gains off the table, because they can disappear just like that, especially when you're trading options, futures, anything like that. Which, speaking of futures, those of you that are in our Discord group chat know that I've really been diving straight into like learning how to trade futures and everything. I actually, on my paper trading account, I don't know if there's a way you can actually switch from where I'm at right now, but I'll probably do another video at some point over that. But I started trading futures, paper trading last night, and it was actually pretty fun. Pretty cool just to like learn the ins and outs, kind of like how much it costs. It does take quite a bit of money, at least with TD Ameritrade, to get in, like the margin requirement and whatnot. Like I said, I'll have plenty of videos on that as I continue to learn about futures. I really just started diving in last night, but if my webcam will load it up, like we'll show it good, I will show you guys real quickly how much profit I made trading oil futures and the S&P minis. Let's see if we can go to positions. So let's see here. So on ES, over the last roughly 24 hours, we made $400 of profit. And then on crude oil futures, we made almost $1,500 worth of profit over just the last 24 hours. So, I mean, we've done almost $2,000 in profit over the last 24 hours trading oil futures and the S&P mini futures, which I'll show you guys the ticker symbols here in a second. I guess I'll try to show you guys. I don't know if it's going to focus in or anything on that. So, and I have a bunch of stuff in there as well, like Netflix and Twitter and stuff. I don't even remember buying this stuff, so it shows a bunch of it's actually really red. It's probably from like, I don't even know how long ago. But the ones that are down at the bottom in the yellow writing, I don't know if you guys can see it too well. Let me see if I can actually pull it up on our streamer app. Oh, the light's in the way. Here, let me see if I can get the light out of the way. So the light's still in the way. Okay, I'll shut it off. So I don't know if you guys can see that too well, but yeah, I mean, pretty cool, pretty interesting, just figuring out futures. I mean, it's pretty simple, like how futures work, like with, get this pulled back down, like with the S&P 500 mini futures, pretty much one tick is 25 cents, and for every 25-cent move, you're going to get $12.50 of profit or $12.50 of losses. So, I mean, you can see how the profits or losses can escalate really quickly. Like, say you had held your short position all day today. This is like a video I'll actually be doing here before long for you guys that are interested in futures. So you get $12.50 per 25-cent move. So, I mean, how many is there in a $19.25 move divided by 0.25? There's a 77 overall tick by tick 25-cent move. You multiply that, say you were shorting it from whatever the start of the day was and you sold right now, which you have some crazy gut if you can absorb that. But you'd have made almost $1,000 on today if you literally held throughout the whole day. Now that would have been kind of crazy in my opinion, because you had plenty of other chances to sell for even more profit. But just based on just showing you guys the basic math of how that works, it does take quite a bit of money. Like the ES Mini, whenever you're trading on TD Ameritrade, you have to have at least $6,600. I heard on other platforms it's less. I'll be looking into, like I said, I just really started diving in last night. And then we have oil futures, where every penny movement you get a $10 profit or loss. So that's the one I was playing a lot. I played it a lot overnight last night because it moves usually 5 or 10 cents roughly pretty quickly in the overnight session. So I was playing that until like almost midnight last night, and then I played it a little bit today and made like a quick $500 profit too. But so I mean, it's like I said, that one's more simple. It takes a little bit less money. I believe it's somewhere around $4,000 or $4,200 on TD Ameritrade. But like I said, and it's the same for Tastyworks. Tastyworks and TD Ameritrade pretty much have the same initial margin requirement. So, like I said, I heard there's other ones. Clint in our Discord group chat, he said there's a Ninja Trader. I guess it's only like $500. I don't know a lot about that platform, but as I continue to just learn, I just want to learn about futures first. Then I'll start kind of looking at the platforms, reviewing them and whatnot, and letting you guys know about that. So if you're new to the channel, like I said, definitely consider subscribing below. We'd love to have you here, especially as we continue to just learn about just the stock market ins and outs, overall futures, all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty interesting. Like a lot of money very quickly. Like I said, it does take a lot of money. That's kind of the downside to it. But I mean, there's really good profits, and it's not, in my opinion, it's not as risky. Like options, it has to move. Not only does it have to move your direction quickly, like not only does it have to move in your direction, but it has to do it very quickly. That's why like these trades I do within SPY, the SPY options, I mean, they're very quick in and out trades because you have to. Where if you want to trade a futures contract, you kind of have more time, so to speak. I mean, they do expire, and I mean, like I said, I'll have tons of videos about that throughout the upcoming weeks and months to come, but it doesn't have like the time decay necessarily. There's no PDT in futures either. That's another amazing thing in my opinion. So there's a ton of there's just a ton of benefits when it comes to trade, and from what I heard, there's actually a lot of tax benefits for trading futures versus just standard equities and options and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm definitely intrigued and interested to learn a lot more in the coming days, weeks, months to come. And I see myself probably trading futures by the end of the year for sure, maybe even sooner, depending on how much we can keep growing this account. But yeah, on that note, I'll probably just go ahead and wrap the stream up. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, we'd love to have you. Definitely consider subscribing below. And if you haven't already, check out our Discord group chat app. That's in the description box. But like I said, just a quick recap. We're still holding Tesla. That one's kind of dragging us down a little bit. But overall, we made some decent money on CRM today. And then we made a quick little $80 profit in 17 minutes trading SPY. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream. If you did, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate that. And like I'll say one last time, if you're new, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there, making your profits, covering your profits, and achieving your financial freedom in 2019 and beyond. You deserve it this year. Go get it. But until next time, guys, have a good day.